Dario, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I know you're a busy guy, but today I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about what you're doing. And as I was mentioning before, there's a lot of different strategies. There's a lot of ways people can go about things. When we see something and when we see somebody like you that's out there creating content and getting results, like the hope is that you can share a little bit about what you do, and hopefully as a takeaway, this may spark some ideas for some people and some other people on the platform. Just as a quick background, Dario is a Massachusetts native like myself and my brother Vinny, who I should have the company with. So we always like helping out the mass holes, of course.
Yeah, there we go.
But what really got our attention was right after we launched your site. I think within the first like 3 or 4 days, there was almost 70 leads you had, and we were like, "Whoa, what is this guy doing?" Which was exciting to see. And since then, it's been a few months, and last time I looked, you had like I think 318 leads. So, and I want to be the first to say, like, and I tell people this all the time: we provide a website platform. You're one of our clients now, which is great. But having a website and doing nothing with it, I tell people, is like singing in the shower and expecting to become a rock star, right? Like you have to do something, you have to promote it. And so maybe we can start by just, can you tell everybody who you are and
Cool.
kind of what you're up to?
Yeah, so my name's Dario. I'm living in Las Vegas. I can see the strip from my office. I've been in the business, in the mortgage business, almost 6 years now. Um, I've always been into marketing. I've always been into social media, but I never kind of put mortgage at the forefront. I was doing some other things before I got into the business. About a year ago, 12 months ago, I decided to take TikTok serious. Didn't expect anything of it. I just knew it was a platform that I was somewhat early to
Yep.
and that I could grow. So I started posting content about, tips, helping consumers, but also just being a raw, authentic individual who happens to do mortgages, just kind of giving you insight on the day to day and what it's like in the career. And slowly but surely, it kind of started to grow, and now we're at over 30,000 followers in a
Yep.
very short period. And yeah, the leads have been great. I mean, that kind of traffic and to not have to spend any money has
Yeah.
been pretty amazing.
And the difference too, because I think the beauty of putting yourself out there, and I wanted to ask you about a couple different things. So I think it benefits recruiting. I know you're trying to grow your business, and it seems like you already have over the last few months by adding more people. So maybe we could talk about that for a second. But the difference is, like, leads are leads, right? There's varying degrees of quality, but would you say that people, and it's kind of a loaded question, but people, when they're applying to you or the company, there's got to be a huge difference in quality versus somebody just getting tricked into filling out some form somewhere on a third party site, like, right? I mean,
100%. Yeah, these leads, they feel like they already know you. It's almost like a warm lead, or like we've spoken. Don't
mhm.
get me wrong, there are some people, every now and again that are like, oh, well, I didn't know I did this. But for the most part, they got to go from a video to the website to fill out a lead form. Like there's high intent.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't want to say a layup, but if we can do the deal,
Yeah.
it's very, very high converting lead.
Yeah. You're not spending it's more consultative at that point. You're not spending your time trying to explain who you are, or any of let's call it selling, because there's a term in marketing called pre-framing. You're basically, all the content you're doing is you're basically pre-framing and giving somebody like a window into who you are so they can make their own decision. Because, like, don't you feel like the way people use the web now has shifted? It's much more about self-discovery. And I know you've talked about this in some other interviews, and your focus is consumer direct. Where do you see, I mean, do you see that train stopping, like in the next 5-10 years, as far as how people make the buying decisions, whether it's which broker to use or anything for that matter?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I think consumers are going to make more and more decisions based off of influence, and I like Mortgages is very unique because it's people really still don't believe in social
Mhm.
in our industry. But for example, Logan Paul launched an energy drink. There are plenty of other companies who probably manufacture a better drink, who
Yeah.
have better ingredients in the drink, but the guy's killing it. So with mortgage, if you don't have any influence, you don't have any reach, people don't know you, it's going to be a lot less about the local chamber of commerce champion and more about social and the guy that's in front of you every single day. And our
Yeah.
industry is still way behind on that. They're still like, I'm going to go take a realtor to coffee and like this and that. Where if they just provided value, they can reach way more people with their cell phone. It scales a lot easier, and
Yeah.
eventually, it generates a lot more traffic than just a word of mouth referral.
Yeah.
I think that's where the future is headed. You got big brand, Rocket, Loan Depot,
That
but if
can
you're
buy
a
attention.
broker,
Yep.
you got to have some presence on social. I mean, like you have to.
Now, obviously, yeah, you see over 30,000 followers on TikTok. I think I looked, you had 213 something thousand likes. Like that's going to, for someone who's just hearing that or being like, okay, maybe I'll do that too. That's going to seem overwhelming. Like, so how long, cause I feel like with social, the common denominator is people getting discouraged. They throw up a couple things and then they're like, oh, I didn't get 10 loans from that for my week of work. Like this doesn't work. Right. Like, how long did it take? Like, what should people expect? And again, TikTok today may be something else. Like, right? You're a creator. You're adding value. If a new platform comes, it doesn't matter, right? Because you already have your messaging. You'll just go where the attention is. Correct?
Correct. It's all about I take this from Gary Vee, right? Underpriced attention. Right now, Instagram's oversaturated. They're not going to grow. There's too
Yep.
many people on or too many people posting on the platform, not enough people. TikTok's the opposite. So you got to find where the opportunity is. And like anything else, man, I believe that like I have a certain charisma on camera that's allowed me
Yep.
to work. It's worked in my favor. And it's allowed me to scale and grow a lot faster than some other people. But if you are vulnerable and you can stay consistent for 6 months, I said 6 months, you should see some sort of response. A lot of people are posting crap, inconsistent. They don't treat it like a true marketing channel. And like you said, they give up. I'm posting a lot more now, but even before I had the resources to post at this cadence, I committed to one video a day, every day for 30 days, not even 6 months, just 30 days. And what you'll find is you'll find success sooner than you think, and then momentum. And next thing you know, like, wow, you have 10,000 followers, and it started with just a simple video. You don't have to overthink it. Just be you, be vulnerable,
Yep.
and give value. Like a lot of people are posting content thinking about themselves. Like, what am I gonna get? What lead am I gonna get? Who can I DM? Instead of what do I know right now that somebody could take away and get value out of?
Yep. Yeah. Like value in advance. Help people. Not the more you're going to help a lot of people. Not everyone's going to use you, but of the people that self-select to use you, it's just going to be a much better experience for everybody. I think. Um, I know you have plans to grow. Actually, one question I want to ask about for TikTok specifically. You're in multi states right now. Are you in 8 states right now?
Yep.
And probably growing. That's a little bit different because you can't. It's not as geo targeted anymore. But if someone just wants to grow, you know, Salem, Massachusetts as a market, shouldn't that even be, in theory, easier on TikTok to have to like geo target their market or their local area and have more visibility?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could hashtag where you are and put your location. TikTok's pushing your content to anyone that likes the niche.
Mm.
And I don't think parameters around where they live, I'm not too sure. Like, I know Facebook, you can do a lot more specific targeting.
I think they released that recently.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
I'm
way
a
to
little
add.
behind, but I think like there's not a lot of mortgage professionals on the platform. So you're gonna
Yeah,
win now. I don't think it's gonna be the case a year from now, Like
yeah,
YouTube shorts, everything I post on TikTok goes to YouTube shorts. I got like 200 subscribers. I don't even pay attention to it, but YouTube shorts is super, super profitable, a great opportunity. So YouTube shorts and TikTok, I like where I'm at.
yeah. Um, for and I know your goal is to grow your company, right? I mean, I've heard you say it before. For recruiting, you know, there's a lot of companies right now that want to try to grow, and you know, even if they're not originating, can you speak a little bit to how, if at all, you being out there and creating content and adding value has helped with recruiting?
Yeah. I've always felt like if I put myself out there, when it comes to a loan officer or any employee and they're thinking about joining a mortgage company, they're going to go to the person that they feel like they know, that they can trust, that they can see. And everyone that I have here, I'd say, well, not everyone, probably 9 out of the 10 of them found me on TikTok, walked into my office and said, "Hey, I want to work here." And that's been created by the content. It's very similar to like, I always use this comparison, but like Vince McMahon, if I'm a wrestler, I want to go to the WWE because of Vince McMahon. He's going to make me
Right.
a star. This is the guy I see. He's in the trenches every day. He's active. He's in the arena. Same thing with mortgages. I don't want to go work for a branch manager that doesn't know how to write a loan or hasn't written a loan and is completely out of touch.
Yeah.
I think for us, once our infrastructure is built, um, we're going to be hyper focused on branches, and a branch manager who's at guaranteed rate um, at home field, I can provide the same thing, right? I can give you the pricing, I can give you the comp you want, but more importantly, I can teach you how to brand yourself. And when you learn how to brand yourself, now you create your own leads. They're not my leads. Like not
Yeah.
even though I own the company, they're your leads. You can take that anywhere. And I think that resource, that ability is going to win us a lot of branches throughout the country.
Yeah, because it's easier for someone to say, "Oh, you should do this. This is working right now. You should do this," versus where you're like, "This is what I'm doing and it's working, and I can teach you how to do that." I think that it's just such a powerful strategy. And for you, it's one thing. That's not to say that that's the only strategy out there. I don't want to confuse people to think, what you're doing is the only way to get business. Creating content online and adding value, I think, is very much something everybody should focus on, but it doesn't have to be exactly how you do it, is my point, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have one client that she has a bunch of investment properties and she teaches people how to build wealth through getting investment properties. Different message, but she's the common denominator is she's out there on video in her market on YouTube, pushing content and closing a lot of business because of it. Dario, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. We're watching. It's great to see you out there. I hope you keep crushing it, keep growing.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's TikTok's a real thing, man. It's not going away, and it's done wonders for me. So for everyone listening, don't overthink it. Just document. Less about like, oh, what am I gonna post and create, and I don't know what to say. Just be you and start with that, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. What I always say, imperfect action. That's it. Just take action. Don't worry about being perfect.
Yeah. And one other thing I've heard you say in the past was your brand is who you are. Can you speak to that really quickly, and then we'll sign off here? I thought that was really powerful.
Yeah, a lot of people, when it comes to content, I think what stops them is the concern of, what are people going to think, or how do I look, like that insecurity, and what am I going to post? And when it comes to brand, personal brand, I've always felt like, I mean, you can shape someone into a certain brand, but overall, it's actually who you are. Like I am a 30-year-old, no kids, masshole, right? That's who I is what it is. And a lot of my content, there's people that are going to hate on it and say, what is this, a reality show or this or that? But it's who I am. This is what I'm doing. And I don't shy away from that. And I think consumers, whether it's a loan officer that wants to work here or someone who needs help buying or refinancing, they relate to the vulnerability. They relate to me being a human. They're not looking for someone who knows every guideline involving FHA loans. Do I know that? Yeah. I take my craft serious, but that's not why I'm winning business. I'm winning business because I'm putting myself out there. They trust me. They feel like they know me and they see me every day.
Yeah. Yeah. The product expertise is secondary. It's obviously critical, but that's, to your point, that's not why they're choosing you. They expect that. They expect you to know that. They expect you to know what loans are good.
Mortgages are becoming more and more of a commodity too. Like I talk a lot about price. A lot of loan officers don't like that. They're like, oh, value and this and that. And value is great, but at the end of the day, it's never been easier to shop a mortgage. So if you're working at a crap company and your pricing's through the roof, it's not going to matter how much value you build. They want a price and they want it now. And if you don't want to give it to them, Rocket and Better is going to do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So value, sharp pricing, transparency, and just putting as much content out there should keep you afloat, especially in this market.
Yeah, it's just shifted. It's like the stock market shifted from stockbrokers. You can buy your own stocks now, but they're still financial advisors. So it's kind of the same shift we're seeing, right? Like where the advice is still there, but yeah, shopping's easy.
Easy.
Yeah, access is not the issue anymore. Well, Dario, I appreciate it. Great talking to you.
You too.
We'll see you out in the market. We're watching. Thanks, bud.
All right, Anthony. Thanks, man.